Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will delve into the thrilling twists awaiting in Port Charles and beyond for the next 2 weeks, from August 11th to August 22nd, where Jason Morgan's dramatic arrival at the Five Poppies resort sets off a chain of explosive events. Drew Cain drops a bombshell announcement, and Curtis Ashford grapples with unsettling revelations that could shatter alliances. Kicking off the week of August 11th to 15th, the spotlight turns to Jocelyn Jacks as she stealthily checks into the luxurious, yet shadowy Five Poppies resort alongside her partner in this high-stakes operation, Vaughn. This undercover mission is fraught with tension, and Jocelyn might narrowly avoid a disastrous encounter with Britt Westburn, who is already entangled in her own web of peril. Imagine the pulse-pounding moment when Jocelyn rounds a corner in the resort's opulent hallways, only to duck into a side room just as Britt passes by, her face etched with worry from ongoing threats. Britt, under mounting pressure from the enigmatic Pascal, could find herself cornered with no escape but to return to the secretive lab, where her scientific expertise is both a gift and a curse. This reluctant step back into the world of experiments might involve developing a groundbreaking serum under duress, adding layers of moral dilemma to her storyline as she weighs the risks to her freedom against the potential to uncover hidden truths about the resort's dark underbelly. Later in the week, Jocelyn's frustrations bubble to the surface, leading her to vent about the strict protocols imposed by Jack Brennan. She might argue passionately that their reconnaissance-only approach is too cautious, dreaming up bolder strategies like infiltrating restricted areas disguised as resort staff. But Vaughn could counter with stern reminders of past missions gone awry, emphasizing how going off-script has led to near-fatal mistakes for others in their circle. This disagreement could highlight Jocelyn's impulsive nature, drawing from her history of bold moves in Port Charles, and serve as a catalyst for her to reflect on the thin line between bravery and recklessness in this espionage-laden plot. Shifting back to the bustling streets of Port Charles, Alexis Davis contemplates a daring legal maneuver that could reshape family dynamics. This might center in a custody battle for young Scout Quartermain, especially if tensions escalate between Drew Cain and his mother, Monica Quartermain. Picture Alexis poring over legal documents late into the night, her sharp mind devising arguments that challenge Drew's fitness as a guardian. Amid his political ambitions, Monica's attempts to reason with Drew could fall flat, perhaps during a heated family dinner where old grievances resurface, paving the way for Drew's major announcement. Enraged by Alexis's interference, Drew might publicly declare his irreversible plan to relocate to Washington, D.C., with Scout in tow, framing it as a fresh start, but laced with underlying bitterness. In an inventive twist, Drew could envision this move as a way to build a new empire, incorporating Scout into a life of privilege with private tutors and elite connections, all while secretly hoping to entice Willow Tate to join them. Drew's path crosses with Willow's in an unexpected encounter, maybe at a quiet cafe where he pours out apologies for past betrayals, offering gestures like a heartfelt letter or a symbolic gift from their shared history. Yet Willow, fortified by her recent personal growth, stands firm, refusing to forgive and reminding him of the pain his actions caused, which could deepen her resolve to forge her own path independent of Corinthos' family drama. This rejection might fuel Drew's determination, adding emotional depth to his character as he navigates the fallout of his choices. Meanwhile, Dante Falconeri issues a stern warning to Liesl Obrecht about the consequences of her schemes, threatening arrest if she doesn't back down. Hot on the heels of this confrontation, another character faces the cold grip of handcuffs, with Harrison Chase stepping up to execute the bust. This arrest could jeopardize the promising future of Giovanni Joe Palmieri, potentially catching him red-handed, while sneaking into Professor Henry Hank Dalton's high-tech lab in a desperate bid for answers about his own mysterious origins. Inventing a new element here, Joe might be driven by cryptic clues from an anonymous letter hinting at family secrets buried in Dalton's research files, leading to a chaotic scene where alarms blare and security scrambles. Emma Scorpio Drake, ever the loyal friend, rallies to Gio's defense, perhaps enlisting tech-savvy allies to hack into surveillance footage and prove his intentions were not malicious. Dante and Brooklyn Quartermain, feeling a paternal pull despite Gio's current estrangement, jump in to assist, organizing a legal fund or pulling strings with old contacts, even as Joe wrestles with his independence and the weight of unwanted help. Across town, Stella Henry offers sage advice to Kai Taylor, urging him to summon every ounce of determination to rekindle his romance with Trina Robinson. Stella might share anecdotes from her own past heartbreaks, painting vivid pictures of second chances won through persistence and genuine change. However, Stella's world tilts when she discovers she's unwittingly at the heart of a sprawling insurance fraud probe, complete with forged documents and suspicious claims that trace back to shadowy figures. This bombshell rattles Curtis Ashford to his core, forcing him to question the fragile truce he's established with Drew Kane, especially if subtle clues point to the congressman's involvement like anonymous tips or altered records that smell of political sabotage. In an expanded detail, Curtis could confront Drew in a tense boardroom meeting, where veiled accusations fly, revealing Drew's calculated revenge plot as a slow-burning scheme rooted in old rivalries over business deals gone sour. Drew's vendetta extends to Michael Corinthos, where he unleashes a fresh wave of manipulation, perhaps by leaking fabricated scandals to the press or orchestrating corporate takeovers that undermine Michael's influence at Rora Media. In a budding subplot, Chase turns to Willow as a trusted confidant, sharing vulnerabilities about his career stresses and personal doubts, which fortifies their connection. This could evolve into stolen moments of laughter over coffee, hinting at a romantic rekindling, as Willow finds solace in Chase's steady presence amid her own turmoil, potentially setting the stage for a love triangle if other suitors emerge. Anna Devane, relentless in her pursuit of truth, presses Jack Brennan for deeper insights into the five Poppies intrigue, her interrogations laced with sharp wit and unyielding pressure. Simultaneously, Jason Morgan advances toward the resort, his journey marked by covert travels and encrypted communications that build suspense for his impending rival. Transitioning to the week of August 18th to 22nd, Jason immerses himself in the resort's enigmatic grounds, methodically searching for clues amid palm-lined paths and hidden alcoves. His investigation culminates in a face-to-face reunion with Britt Westburn, unleashing a torrent of revelations. Britt, possibly unaware of Jason's survival until a fleeting online headline catches her eye during a tense lab session, reacts with a mix of shock and relief, leading to an intense exchange where Jason probes her involvement with Pascal's threats, and she in turn demands details on his fake death and return. Adding inventive layers, their conversation could uncover shared enemies from Jason's past missions, like a rogue operative tied to both their worlds, fostering an unlikely alliance forged in the heat of danger. Jocelyn's situation intensifies as peril escalates, with Jason's unexpected presence disrupting the delicate balance and risking the exposure of her cover. Perhaps a mistaken identity in the resort's bustling casino leads to a chase sequence, where Jocelyn dodges guards while signaling Vaughn for backup, amplifying the stakes and testing her resourcefulness. Kai, inspired by Stella's encouragement, ramps up his efforts to win Trina back, maybe through grand gestures like a personalized art exhibit showcasing her passions, or heartfelt letters that address their past misunderstandings. The question lingers, will his sincerity pierce Trina's guarded heart, or will lingering doubts keep them apart? Drew's manipulative tactics intensify as he wields his congressional power to influence Port Charles affairs, from swaying local elections to blocking business permits for rivals. This overreach could paint a bullseye on his back, attracting the ire of formidable foes like the ruthless Jen Sidwell, whose criminal empire doesn't tolerate interference. Sidwell might respond with subtle warnings, such as anonymous deliveries of ominous symbols, foreshadowing brewing conflicts that promise more chaos ahead. Next, we will uncover the explosive details surrounding Harrison Chase's impending shocking arrest that promises to unleash a wave of criminal turmoil throughout the streets of Port Charles. As we piece together the tantalizing clues to identify the unfortunate soul headed for handcuffs, diving straight into the heart of the drama, the spoilers for the week of August 11th to 15th paint a vivid picture of Chase being thrust into a no-win situation, where he's compelled by direct orders to slap the cuffs on someone close to the action. Imagine Chase, his badge gleaming under the harsh lights of the PCPD precinct, receiving an urgent directive from his superiors, perhaps via a confidential memo outlining evidence of a bold intrusion. Reluctance etched across his face, he might hesitate in the squad car en route, reflecting on personal ties that make this duty feel like a betrayal. Yet his unwavering commitment to the law leaves him no room to maneuver. This arrest isn't just routine paperwork, it's poised to ripple through families and friendships, stirring up old grudges and forcing characters to confront uncomfortable truths about loyalty. and justice in a town where secrets rarely stay buried. Adding to the intrigue, Emma Scorpio Drake emerges as a force of unyielding resolve, channeling her inner fire to tackle the fallout head-on. Picture her in a dimly lit coffee shop, poring over maps and digital blueprints with a steely gaze, determined to right a wrong she may have inadvertently set in motion. Inventing a fresh layer to her storyline, Emma could draw upon her Scorpio family legacy of cunning problem-solving, perhaps enlisting an underground network of tech-savvy informants to gather alibis or fabricate diversions, all while balancing her own academic pressures at PCU. Her fierce determination might manifest in late-night stakeouts or impassioned pleas to key allies, showcasing how this young powerhouse refuses to let circumstances dictate her fate, turning potential disaster into a showcase of her growing maturity and resourcefulness. Meanwhile, Rocco Falconeri and Michael Corinthos step up to offer Giovanni Joe Palmieri some much-needed words of encouragement, bolstering his spirits amid brewing storm clouds. Envision Rocco, with the earnestness of youth, pulling Joe aside during a casual hangout at the Quartermain Mansion's sprawling gardens, whispering assurances that draw from his own experiences with family chaos. Rocco might inventively reference a cherished memory of Dante pulling strings in past crises, like the time he navigated a school scandal, promising Joe that paternal instincts will prevail once more. On the other side, Michael could corner Joe in a sleek office at Aurora Media, his tone firm yet supportive, vowing to leverage the Corinthos family's vast resource perhaps, by tapping into Sonny's network of high-powered attorneys who've turned the tide in countless legal battles. This reassurance could include practical steps, like arranging a discreet meeting with a bail bondsman or even funding a private investigator to unearth exonerating evidence, highlighting Michael's role as a steadfast pillar in the extended family web. Tying these threads together, Dante Falconeri and Brooklyn Quartermain convene for a high-stakes strategy huddle, their minds racing to devise a plan amid the escalating crisis. Imagine them huddled in a quiet corner of the Metro Court Lounge, maps and notes scattered across the table, as they brainstorm ways to mitigate the damage. Dante, drawing from his detective expertise, might propose infiltrating official channels to challenge the arrest's validity, while Brooklyn uses her music industry connections to rally public support or distract the media with a fabricated story. In an inventive expansion, their session could uncover a hidden clue, such as a tampered security feed from the incident site, sparking a subplot where they race against time to present it before charges stick, all while navigating their own emotional baggage from recent family strains. Putting the puzzle pieces in place, it appears highly probable that Chase's orders will lead him to apprehend Joe, following a daring break-in at a secure lab, a scheme potentially sparked by Emma's persuasive influence. This unauthorized entry might involve Joe slipping through shadowed corridors, equipped with makeshift tools like a borrowed keycard and a silenced phone, driven by a quest for elusive answers about his heritage that Emma has convinced him are worth the risk. The consequences could unfold in a dramatic scene, flashing lights illuminating Gio's shocked expression as Chase reads him his rights, the air thick with tension from bystanders who recognize the young man's ties to prominent Port Charles figures. This arrest not only spotlights Gio's vulnerability, but also amplifies the chaos, as whispers of the incident spread like wildfire through social circles, potentially exposing deeper conspiracies linked to the lab's confidential research on experimental genetics. In the wake of this mishap, Emma's bold determination shifts into overdrive, propelling her to orchestrate a rescue effort for the predicament she helped create. She might transform into a whirlwind of activity, rallying classmates for character witnesses or hacking into public records to build a defense narrative, her actions infused with a mix of guilt and grit. Inventing new depth, Emma could confront her own role in the scheme during a tearful solo moment, vowing to make amends by volunteering at a community center, which inadvertently leads her to a key witness who saw the break-in differently, turning the tide in unexpected ways and underscoring themes of accountability. In youth-driven storylines, this scenario neatly explains the upcoming pep talks from Rocco and Michael, tailored to lift Joe from the depths of despair. Rocco's encouragement could evolve into a brotherly bonding session, where he shares stories of overcoming setbacks, like his own brushes with trouble during family feuds, instilling hope that Dante's investigative prowess will unravel the mess. Michael, ever the strategist, might outline a comprehensive support plan, assuring Joe that Sonny's influence extends to discreet negotiations with prosecutors, perhaps even hinting at a plea deal sweetened by charitable donations to local causes. These interactions add emotional layers, portraying Joe as a reluctant hero caught in circumstances beyond his control, while emphasizing the Corinthos clan's unbreakable bonds, despite the looming charges that could result in bail but threaten severe repercussions, like expulsion from Port Charles University. Both Rocco and Michael urge Joe to maintain an optimistic outlook. They might paint pictures of brighter futures, with Rocco suggesting Joe channel his energy into creative outlets like music or sports to cope, and Michael offering internships at ELQ to keep his mind occupied. In a creative addition, Joe could receive an anonymous care package filled with motivational books and family photos symbolizing the collective faith in his resilience, helping him envision a path forward even as legal shadows loom large. As for Brooklyn and Dandy's urgent powwow, it centers on mapping out countermeasures to reverse the damage inflicted by the arrest. Their discussion might involve contingency plans, such as enlisting expert witnesses or pushing for a mistrial based on procedural errors, with Dante leveraging his badge for insider info, adding an inventive twist that could discover a forged document in the evidence chain, leading to a side investigation that implicates a rival faction in Port Charles, broadening the narrative to include corporate espionage elements that tie back to ongoing hospital intrigues. Should Chase indeed haul Joe into custody, it risks reigniting old frictions with Dante, who might view it as a personal affront given their shared history in law enforcement. Picture a charged confrontation in the precinct hallway, words flying as Dante accuses Chase of blind obedience, only for Chase to defend his position with reminders of past cases where leniency backfired. Brooklyn, caught in the crossfire, could express her displeasure through pointed silences or a heated phone call, straining her relationship with Chase, despite understanding he's merely fulfilling his professional obligations. This tension adds relational depth, exploring how duty clashes with personal ties in a tight-knit community. Next, we will dive into the electrifying wave of fan enthusiasm surrounding Rory Gibson's transition from The Young and the Restless to our beloved ABC soap, where his fresh take on a key role has sparked claims that he's the greatest recast in daytime television history. Back in April of this year, whispers began circulating that Rory Gibson, who bid farewell to his portrayal of Noah Newman on The Young and the Restless a full 2 years prior, was poised to make a splashy crossover to ABC's General Hospital. This rumor mill churned with anticipation, as fans speculated on how his charismatic presence could invigorate the show's intricate storylines. To add inventive flair to the narrative, imagine Rory during those transitional months, quietly attending script readings in nondescript Los Angeles cafes, honing his craft while dodging paparazzi keen on spoiling the surprise. His move wasn't just a career shift, it symbolized a bold leap into Port Charles' dramatic world, where alliances shift like sand and secrets simmer beneath the surface. Now, with several episodes under his belt, a vocal contingent of viewers is passionately declaring him the pinnacle of recasting excellence, praising how seamlessly he's breathed new life into the canvas without missing a beat. The chorus of approval for Rory has been nothing short of a symphony, with fans across social media platforms singing his praises in harmonious unison. This outpouring stems from a deep appreciation for his nuanced acting style, which blends vulnerability with quiet intensity, making characters feel more relatable amid the soap's high-stakes plots. Inventing a new element here, some enthusiasts have even launched online fan clubs dedicated to analyzing his scenes, complete with episode breakdowns and fan art that capture his expressive eyes and commanding screen presence. These supporters argue that Rory elevates the material, turning routine dialogues into memorable moments that linger long after the credits roll, solidifying his status as a transformative force in the genre. Excitement reached a fever pitch when speculation mounted that Rory might step into the shoes of Michael Corinthos, a role previously held by Chad Duell. While fans acknowledged Chad's solid performances over the years, they respected his decision to step away for personal well-being, perhaps to focus on family or pursue other creative ventures outside the spotlight. This transition opened the door for fresh interpretations, and Rory's name quickly surfaced as a top contender. To expand with creative details, picture the behind-the-scenes buzz at the GH studios, where producers held secretive auditions in soundproof rooms, testing chemistry reads with co-stars like Laura Wright and Maurice Bernard to ensure the new Michael would fit seamlessly into the Corinthos family dynamics. Chad's gracious exit, marked by heartfelt social media posts thanking the cast and crew, only heightened the anticipation for who would carry the torch forward. In portraying Michael's complex blend of ambition and loyalty, the rumor storm intensified when Robert Adamson, who had temporarily embodied Michael Corinthos in a brief stint, shared a cryptic post on social media expressing disappointment at being passed over for a more permanent gig, only to swiftly delete it amid the backlash. This fleeting moment stirred the pot, fueling debates among fans about casting choices and the unpredictable nature of soap opera roles. In an inventive twist, Robert's post might have included a subtle nod to his own memorable scenes, like a tense confrontation with Sonny, reminding viewers of his contributions while inadvertently spotlighting Rory as the fresh face, ready to redefine the character. Such online drama underscored the passionate investment of the GH fandom, turning what could have been a minor hiccup into a trending topic that kept the show's name buzzing on platforms like Twitter and TikTok. Fortunately, the wait for confirmation was mercifully short-lived, as official news broke on May 21st that Rory Gibson had indeed joined the General Hospital family, sending waves of delight through the community. His debut episodes showcased an immediate impact, with Rory infusing his role with subtle mannerisms and emotional depth that resonated deeply. Adding new layers, fans might recall his first on-screen moment, perhaps a charged family gathering at the Quartermain mansion, where his Michael navigates corporate intrigue with a mix of steely resolve and hidden vulnerability, drawing comparisons to classic soap archetypes while carving out his unique stamp. This swift integration didn't just meet expectations, it exceeded them, as Rory's natural chemistry with veteran actors sparked scenes that felt both innovative and true to the show's legacy. The groundswell of support for Rory truly ignited on social media, particularly Instagram, where the announcement of his appearance on Maurice Benard's State of Mind podcast unleashed a torrent of ecstatic comments. Maurice, beloved for his role as Sonny Corinthos, teased the episode with a simple yet enticing caption: "There's not much to say, I have a feeling. You're gonna watch at MB State of Mind on Sunday 10 a.m. Live a chat at Rory_Gibson." This post acted as a magnet, drawing in viewers eager to hear Rory's insights on his journey from Genoa City to Port Charles. To invent an engaging detail, the podcast could feature behind-the-scenes anecdotes, like Rory sharing how he prepared by binge-watching classic GH arcs, or bonding with co-stars over shared hobbies such as music, potentially pushing Maurice's subscriber count toward that coveted 200,000 milestone. Through sheer fan fervor, over the decades, General Hospital has seen its share of recasts, from the memorable shifts in portrayals of Emma Drake and Spencer Casadini to Chris McKenna's compelling turn as the enigmatic Jack Brennan. Yet, with all due respect to these talented performers, Rory Gibson is currently riding a wave of popularity that sets him apart as a standout. Fans point to his ability to honor the character's history while injecting fresh energy, making old storylines feel revitalized. In a creative expansion, comparisons often highlight how Rory's Michael brings a modern edge, perhaps through subtle nods to contemporary issues like mental health struggles, which deepen the narrative and connect with a broader audience seeking relatable depth in their daytime escapes. The flood of admiration peaked in the comments section of Maurice's post, where supporters poured out their joy, with many boldly proclaiming Rory as the finest recast in the annals of soap opera history. One particularly fervent fan remarked, "Amen to one of the best recastings. I fast-forward through a lot of GH recasts," echoing a sentiment shared by countless others who now tune in religiously for Rory's scenes. This level of endorsement has turned him into an instant fan favorite, with inventive fan theories swirling about future plot twists, such as Michael's involvement in a groundbreaking corporate scandal, or a heartfelt reconciliation arc that showcases Rory's range. As the buzz continues to build, it's clear Rory Gibson has not only joined General Hospital, but has captured hearts. Promising more thrilling developments ahead. Stay tuned for updates on his rising star.